Hey, welcome to this week's episode of M3, your midweek micro message. Pastor Jeff here, senior pastor up on the hill. And if you haven't caught an episode of M3 before, M3 is where we stop our micro message for the week and we talk about everyday topics, but from a biblical perspective. And today I want to talk about very briefly proactive living. Somehow we've gotten into this mindset that God didn't want us to be proactive in what we do with our lives and how we manage things in our lives. Truth be told, we all face challenges, and some of those things they seem insurmountable. We just can't get over them. But our attitude, and how we approach our challenges, they can make a world of difference. And the reason why being proactive and proactive living for us as believers is so important, it gives us one of two options, right? We can either be reactive and give control uh, of our lives to the circumstances and let those circumstances dictate our lives, or we can be proactive and take control of our lives and then reshape and kind of guide our destinies. Um, I don't want us to be confused because God does have a role in this. As a matter of fact, the Bible encourages proactive living. If we take a look at Proverbs 16 and 9, this particular proverb, it tells us that the heart of a man plans his way. The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. In other words, I have an obligation to spend time with the Lord, meditate on His Word, identify what He has for my life, plan for my life, but let the Lord guide me. And if we think about this particular proverb, what it should do is to help us understand that we have a responsibility to set the plan and the goals, but we allow God to guide us. Um, Proactive living, it doesn't mean that we control every part of our lives. If we did that, then we would never honor, worship, and give reverence to God. That's not what I mean. What I do mean is this. It means that I have to take responsibility for the choices that I make. I have to take responsibilities for the actions that I do. And then, most importantly, I have to focus my attention on solutions instead of dwelling on problems. And that's where we get stuck. We always thinking about the problem, always thinking about the problem. If we would spend the same amount of time focusing on the solution as we do on the problem, we could overcome some of the things that we deal with. So, in essence, this proverb is teaching us, yes, we've been told, wait on God, but it also teaches us that we need to have a plan. I want you to think about another proverb. It's Proverbs 21 and 5. And it talks about diligence. And diligence here means being proactive. If I'm diligent, it's going to lead to abundance. But if I live a life of haste, in other words, I'm being reactive instead of proactive, it leads to poverty because I don't have a plan and I'm always reacting to everything instead of being proactive and getting ahead. And this is tough because diligence, it requires perseverance. In other words, it's a long game. And some of us want things immediately, we just want it to be done with and we want to move on. No, life is a long game. Diligence is a long game. Living a proactive lifestyle is a long game. It means I have to work towards my goals even when I face setbacks, and we will face some. The thing about it is just don't quit because you face a setback. Um, Maintain a positive attitude. And with that, then we begin to cultivate other people and people around us, right? And we instill hope and optimism and all those things that we're told to do. In other words, sometimes in addition to seeking hope, we have to be a hope. And by being a hope, and you've heard me say this before, I have to be the person that lives my life in such a proactive means that I am giving hope and being a hope to someone else because they're watching how I live my life and the example that I set. Philippians 4 and 8, it encourages us to fix. It means I am concentrated, dead spot on. Fix my mind on what's true, honorable, right, and pure. And find things to focus on that are excellent and worthy of praise. Yep. Proactive living, it's not easy, but the rewards are worth it, right? It requires discipline. It requires self awareness. It requires willpower, not throwing in the towel. That's easy to do. but it requires willpower, but it also requires fellowship. I can't isolate myself, accountability. Once I share my hopes and dreams and plans with someone that I can confide in and they can walk with me, I need to be held accountable for those things. Are you sticking to task? In other words, we have to take control of our lives if we are going to experience greater peace, fulfillment, and success. Think about the world that's going on around us and everything is just spinning really kind of out of control. We don't have to sit back and just watch things happen. But if we're proactive, we can intervene. We can circumvent and we can get in front of some things that we may just see coming. So I encourage you as I wrap this up to embrace a proactive mindset. There's nothing wrong with positive thinking. There's nothing wrong with getting out ahead of things. What does get us in trouble when we get out ahead of ourselves and we haven't consulted God on the matter. So I don't want us to be confused there. Develop a plan, and most of all, take action. A plan without taking action is just a piece of paper that you wrote some stuff down on and never did anything with. Trust in God's guidance, but we also have to rely on our diligence and our determination. Be determined once you set a plan. Be determined once you set your goals and see those things through. Remember, listen, here's the last thing, the final word. The power to shape your future, it lies with God. The power to shape your future lies with God, but the effort to shape your future comes from within you. Listen, this has been your midweek micro message. Hope something was shared today to get you to thinking. On Saturday morning, right up here on the hill, I'm inviting all men to meet us here. We don't have an agenda, but we are going to talk. We have a session that we're starting on Saturday, February 1st at 10 a.m. called Man, We Need to Talk. And man, I hope to see you up here on the hill. This has been your midweek micro message. Pardon me for my stumbling. We'll see you next week.